Okay, we're on. So we got to chapter 46 in Tanya, Likutei Amorim, for the 9th of ER. So good week to everyone. The essay of today is discussing the method of achieving love of God. The method of achieving love of God is attainable by all, even one with a heart of stone. Even if someone has a heart of stone, love of God is attainable. It is the principle of mirroring love. Mirroring love. Principle of mirroring love. One cannot help respond to an outpouring of love, but with rebounding love. There's an opinion that says, not an opinion, it's a famous statement, that when God gave us the Torah, it says the statement is in Hebrew, Kofa Alem Har Kegigis, that he raised up a mountain over their head. And he said, if you accept the Torah, fine. If not, this will be your burial place. So he forced it. He forced it upon them. Chassidus tells us that it's not so. What does it mean? That he showed them so much love that they couldn't say no to it. It's like someone shows you a lot of love, and then he asks you for a favor, you immediately do it, because you know that the guy loves you. Mm-hmm. So it says the same thing over here. It's called the principle of mirroring love. So if someone responds to you with love, there's no other way that you will respond to them with rebounding love immediately. One cannot help respond to an outpouring of love, but with rebounding love. Imagine the scene of a king choosing to spend time with a lowlife. Imagine the king, imagine the president sees a
bum in the street.
Sees a homeless in the street, picks him up to his car, take him to the Trump Plaza, tell the guys, give him a sweet, then he eats dinner with him, candles and the whole thing, a nice meal. What do you think this guy would have to the president? He obviously would love him. He said, "Wow, the guy took
respect.
They took from his time,
appreciation.
Yeah." So it says,
to get to a better place.
Imagine the scene of a king choosing to spend time with a lowlife, inviting him into the palace, and sharing an intimate moment with him. It's one-on-one with the king. So in today's lesson, like a reflection in water, you look at the water, you see a reflection. So too does a love toward a friend elicit his friend's love back to him. If you arouse love to a friend, it immediately will create the same thing. Even if you're not going to see it right away, but it's going to happen. Because that's what you are portraying. This is what your essence, love in you. Mm-hmm. So in the previous chapter, the Alter Rebbe described, chapter 45, the Alter Rebbe described it another manner in which a person can perform Torah and mitzvahs with his heart, with the love and fear of God. And that is by utilizing the attribute of Yaakov, which is the quality and attribute of mercy. That's what Yaakov was all about. Tiferet, splendor, mercy. That's what it means. So, there is yet another straight way, Shavua Tov to everyone. There's yet another straight way, simple and straightforward, that is equally applicable and suitable to every man, and this matter is very, very close, inasmuch as the technique involved is uncomplicated. To arouse and kindle the light of the love that is implanted and concealed in his heart. This love is already found in the heart of every Jew and in a concealed state, meaning it's already there. You have love to God. It's hidden, but it's there. You have it. Utilizing the approach about to be described makes it very simple for every Jew to reveal and actualize this love. That it may shine forth with its intense light like a flaming fire in the consciousness of the heart and mind, ultimately enabling the person to surrender his soul to God together with his body and material possessions, this being done with all his heart and all his soul and all his might, with the boundless devotion of his soul's essence, from the depth of the heart in absolute truth and sincerity, and especially most propitious time for the person to kindle this love in such a manner is at the time of the recital of the Shema and its blessings, as will be explained later on the particular connection of the Shema and its blessing to the arousal of this love. And this technique for revealing this love this is really the point that we're trying to get to, Shavuot of Sarah. Kasher yosim libo ma shomar hakosu, kemayim aponim laponim ken lev odom l'odom. To take to heart the meaning of the pasuk, the verse, as water mirrors the face to the face, so does the heart of man to man. Right? The same way that you look at the mirror and it's mirroring you. So if you have love towards someone else, that love will be mirrored back. And this is from Proverbs 27:19. Kemaim haponim laponim. As water mirrors the face to the face, you look at the water, it reflects your face, right? So does the heart of men to men. Pirush, which means kemoishe kedmut v'tzuras haponim sha'odom mare b'mayim, kenir l'sham b'mayim ois tzura atzmo. This means that, as in the case of the likeness and features of the face which a man presents to the water, the identical face is reflected back to him from the water. That image mirrors not only the person's external features, but also the nuances of a facial expression that signifies joy, sorrow, God forbid, and so on. Thus revealing not only his physical state, but his mental state as well. Meaning, you look at someone, you can see, you probably figure out, is he sad, is he happy, is he joyful, is he not, is he maybe, God forbid, depressed. You can see on his face. So really, the panim, the face, is also mean inner. Panimi is inner in Hebrew, because the face mirrors something deeper. It doesn't just show you his face, but you can also figure out the nuance. That's why it's called in Hebrew.
30 faces on the board. Working today.
Right. That's why in Hebrew it's called panim, because it's really referred to the inside. If you look at someone's back, you can't really tell anything about his emotions, about his feelings, or about the state of mind that he is right now. So indeed is also the heart of a man who is loyal in his affection for another person. For this love which he has for the other awakens a loving response for him in the heart of his friend also, so that they come to love each other loyally. Even the love harbored in one's heart arouses a reflected love in another, especially when he sees his friend's love for him freely revealed. So even if you have love for someone else, but it's hidden, the fact that the other person hasn't revealed it is going to reveal your love to him also. Such is the common nature in the character of every man, even when they are in equal status. If someone of an equal status has love to you, and immediately you will have love to him. Imagine someone is a much greater status than you that has love to you, how much more so that you will have love to him. He chose to love me even though he's so much greater than me, like saying like the king that shows love to someone, how much more so that you will have love to him. If you can have love to a regular person just because he loves you, you love him back, how much more so that you can have love to someone that is much greater than you that still chose to love you. So it says, how much more so is the case if a great and mighty king, it says, how much more so is this the case if a great and mighty king who rules over many lands displays his great and intense love for a commoner who is despised and lowly among men, a disgraceful creature cast on the dunghill. So the Alter Rebbe brings the worst type of situation with the highest level, meaning the king, the greatest king of over many countries, come to pick somebody from a dunghill and displays love to him. So the king depicted here rules not over one land but over many. His love for the person is not only harbored in the heart but is manifest. The king shows him love. The manner of love is not ordinary but great and intense. Not just showing him love but showing him great and intense love. And the love is shown not to an ordinary person but to a truly despicable character. The Alter Rebbe goes on to state how his love is displayed. Remember, this is, if you contemplate on this analogy, every person will be able to arouse love to God. If you just think about this simple techniques that the Alter Rebbe is providing us, we'll be able to arouse love to God. If we can arouse love to God, everything we do, spiritually, physically, will change. Will happen a different way. A much better and higher and more devoted, more excited, more motivated way. So listen to this. Yet the king comes down to him from the place of his glory together with all his retinue with all his entourage, the whole crowd that comes to him. So now just try to picture somebody homeless, sleeping under a bridge, dirty, this, that. Comes a king with all of his entourage coming to pick him up from this dunghill. And he raises him and exalts him from his dunghill. And brings him into his palace, the royal palace. And within the palace itself, he leads him in the innermost chamber. He take him to places where he wouldn't even take his ministers. Cheder lifnim cheder, innermost chamber, mokum shen kol eved v'sanichel, a place where no minister, no slave enters. And there shares with him the closest companionship with mutual embraces and kisses him, hugs him, and attachment spirit to spirit and their whole heart and soul. With their all heart and soul.
Just like Shema.
When a mighty king shows such great affection and companionship to such a lowly person, then what happens to that lowly person? How much more so will there be aroused of itself a doubled and redoubled love in the heart of this most common and humble individual for the person of the king, with a true attachment of spirit from the heart and soul, from the infinite depth of his heart. And even if this guy, the despicable person that was in the dunghill, has a heart of stone, right? He must even if his heart be like a heart of stone and not easily roused to render feelings of love for another, in such a situation it will surely melt and become like water, and his soul will pour itself out like water with soulful longing for the love of the king. So the takeaway from today's essay: like water reflects an image, a person reflects back what is projected on them. Right? They say rejection leads to, was it if you push somebody, immediately he does the opposite, right? He tries to hold back. Push somebody, he's trying to hold his ground. Bring somebody closer, tries to hold his ground. If you show someone's love, he will show love.
Right.
It says over here, a person reflects back what is projected on them. This is true between people and also between us and God. If you project warmth and love, you will receive it back. If we project joyfulness, happiness, so they say in heaven he is happy.
Right.
They say in heaven he is happy. He doesn't have a lot of reasons to be happy, but he's happy. We're going to give him reasons to be happy. We're going to make him truly happy. But if a person says, "Oh, I don't have this and I don't have this," and is in a state of melancholy, they say, "Oh, he's depressed." We'll give him reasons why to be depressed. And so whatever we project, that's what the Mizritch Maggid said is a verse that says "Da malamala mimcho," which means you should know that everything that the simple meaning of the verse is you should know that there's something above you. Da malamala mimcha. You should know that it's something on top of you, watching you, observes you. But his interpretation, the Mizritch Maggid, was like this. He says, you should know that everything that happens above is from you, meaning that you create what happens above. You can formulate the response from above. You can almost design the response from above to you, the reaction from above, the reciprocation from above. We have the ability to design what type of reciprocation we'll have. If it's if we arouse love and compassion and kindness and gentleness and happiness and joy, all the good things, that would be the response from above. But if God forbid the opposite, then it's the opposite. So we should know that everything is from us. We can create, we can design.
We
how
set the tone of synergy.
Right, exactly. We can decide how it's going to be. It's up to us. Bruchim Tiu should all choose good and maintain a positive attitude, joyful attitude, besimcha all the time, and they'll give us a lot of reasons from above to be besimcha. And until the ultimate simcha, the coming of Mashiach. Amen. We'll have another class immediately or shortly with Pasha and Yaakov.